Coinbase Cloud. What is it and why do certain investors value it so much? That's where we're going to be diving in today's video, into today's video. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Let's go over to the chart, the trading screen, and dive into this puppy. So here is our favorite stock, Coin, which only knows how to go in one direction, and that's to the downside. But whatever, who cares? There are apparently people valuing this company around $600 to $650 here on Stock Valuator. And I was like, we got to dive into that a little bit more. So if we come down here, you can actually see one of the analysts right here, Nathanson. Again, I don't know if I'm saying that right. This group has a price target, $600 price target on this company. So probably something for us to dive into a little bit more. Anywho, they came out with actually a little bit of an article here. They were interviewed by Yahoo Finance, and this is actually a really interesting video, and I want to show you guys a little bit of a snippet of this video here. And this is from Lisa Ellison. She's one of the partners here of Muffet and Nason's research. Here you guys can go if you want to read this on your own time, feel free. So let's go right into this video here.
An attractiveness and competitive differentiation of Coinbase that's perhaps a bit overlooked. But for us, maybe the thing we were the most excited about from the release actually was the announcement that Coinbase has now launched Coinbase Cloud on the back of their acquisition of a company called Bison Trails earlier this year.
Bison Trails.
Coinbase Cloud is essentially a version of AWS or Microsoft Azure for blockchain technology, which in their view is really the next leg of growth here. It will open up access for developers, financial institutions, et cetera, to begin to build and experiment and build services on top of blockchain technology.
This is really big because that's putting a huge comparison into Coinbase, into some other industries right now that are giants in the space. We know, for example, here, if you go to Infinity, where is it hiding right now? Infinity market cap, that's why it's with an A. You have AWS or Amazon right here at top 5 market cap of 1.6 trillion, and that big part of that is actually AWS, which is that Amazon Web Services in the background. So let's talk a little bit more about what's going on, and actually maybe one more investor who feels the same way as Lisa Ellis here, and that is not this guy. This is actually the co-founder here of Bison Trails. We'll dive into a little bit more because Coinbase acquired Bison Trails, and this is kind of where it all started a little bit. There was always a Coinbase Cloud, but the acquisition of Bison Trails was really the big move forward. So let's actually go here down a little bit. Before we dive into this, there's one little guy, or not one little guy, there's one little piece of information you should know, and that's this investor here, Gary Tan. If you're not following him on Twitter, I highly recommend doing so, but he was one of the early investors in Coinbase, and I think he invested around $300,000, and now it's worth $2.4 billion, roughly. So yeah, he might be a little bit biased, but he probably also knows exactly what he's talking about here. So let's dive into this article, this little snippet right here. I think you'll find this interesting. Whether Coinbase's shares fall further still is an open question, blah, blah, blah. But one early investor, Gary Tan, that's him right here, believes what outsiders misunderstood about Coinbase is its potential going forward. Indeed, Tan has said previously that a major revenue driver for the company could ultimately tie to a startup called Bison Trails, also backed by Tan. The company, that Coinbase quietly acquired late last year for an estimated $80 million in stock, and that Tan recently likened to AWS inside of a cryptocurrency exchange. This is big news. That's what we're going to be talking about today. And actually, if we come down here just a little bit more, there is one thing you might be wondering: how does Coinbase really plan to make money off of something like AWS? Because I know I've been a developer now for, I don't know, give or take 10 years if you include the Neopet HTML coding, but ultimately, what I understand is I use Stripe for many of my projects. I've looked into Coinbase Commerce that we're going to talk about briefly here as well. But I was like, okay, AWS, that's like, database hosting, that's, server hosting. And if they do way more than that, but that's originally what I was thinking about. And I think that's what I had to really kind of get my mind around, because cryptocurrency infrastructure for AWS Web 3.0 is is very, very different here. So let's kind of talk about what TechCrunch interviewed one of the co-founders here, and that is this guy. They interviewed him, and they were wondering, whose life are you making easier, right? And this is also probably why a lot of people are kind of against Coinbase, because they're kind of more on the larger side. They're institutions, right? And that's what usually cryptocurrency people are kind of against. But yeah, okay. We've seen a lot of success in supporting the world's biggest crypto companies. And really, he's referring to Coinbase as one of them. Prior to Coinbase acquiring Bison Trails, we've announced partnerships with Coinbase to help power their staking nodes, proof of stake protocols, which is a paradigm shift in the blockchain space. So staking, guys, this is something that Coinbase has said they plan to make a decent amount of the revenue on. Right now, their revenue of other products like staking is less than 10%. Right now, the transaction revenue is at 90%. That's really where they're making their bulk of the money. But they plan that to go lower and lower. It's pretty much a zero-sum game, because at the end of the day, everyone's going to be competing for those little percents. And at one point, you're going to have like a Web 3.0 Robinhood, or which is basically like a swap system where people are paying less and less in fees, right? So that's not a long-term sustainable business model. That's obvious right now. So let's dive into Coinbase Cloud a little bit. Let's just go to the landing page and talk about a few things here. So we have built the crypto ecosystem with Coinbase. And if you want to view their documentation, this is a lot like having a wallet, or having something like let's say you're playing a game like Decentraland. You could log in with MetaMask or something like Coinbase Wallet, right? So that's integrating with your app like that. So that's a big one. Then you have accept crypto payments, and this is the one that's a little bit more similar to Stripe. You can say view commerce. They actually have really nice documentation here. Stripe is known for their documentation as well. Really good documentation. Actually, if you this is what their backend looks like. You have your dashboard, you have your balances, payments, checkouts, so you could be building all this, your invoices. It's all kind of here. You can create it. It also integrates with several applications already. I think it's Shopify is one of them. I think there's another one, Shopify WooCommerce. So WooCommerce is a WordPress plugin, and if you guys don't know how big WordPress is, I think it's like 70% of the internet is run on WordPress. So these are big integrations already Coinbase has. So this is their backend here. And if you guys don't know what Stripe is, for example, or you're coming from the crypto space a little bit more, BitPay is one of their probably biggest competitors. And then you have CoinGate, another one of the big competitors, which is all about accepting online payments or sending online payments, that stuff. So let's see here. Let's go close all these, and then let's go back a little bit. Where were we? This was the interview. Okay, so we have the wallet, we have the crypto payments. So this is kind of the ecosystem of Coinbase Cloud so far. And then we have this again, send and store crypto. This is again the wallet. If you see here, it's the same URL, goes to the wallet documentation. So that's the same as this one. And then this is really where things escalate quite quickly. So this is where Bison Trails comes in. And then you can see here, explore Coinbase Cloud. Oops, just paused the video on accident. Okay, explore Coinbase Cloud. So connect here. That is the wallets. Commerce, that is sending payments or accepting payments on your website. Pro, that is like active trading, right? Coinbase Pro. I've been using Coinbase Pro for years. My trading volume even hit over $1 million for a short period of time. That's how much we were using it. Those fees were killers. And then platform and all this other stuff all of a sudden is Bison Trails. So this is really that big infrastructure. Actually, here's a really good synopsis. An enterprise infrastructure. Enterprise, always think enterprise. I mean, Coinbase helped Tesla buy early February $1.5 billion of cryptocurrency. You need enterprise solutions that make it easy to participate in multiple blockchains and build applications that connect to blockchain data. Okay, so this is a really, really big one. And that's what they also say here on their homepage. Remember, this is a company that is now acquired by Coinbase. That's a really, really important part. And let's go here. I want to read a very quick synopsis of the news from when Bison Trails was acquired, and then I want to finish up with just a very small piece of something else Coinbase has in the back end that some of you guys might not be aware of, but I think definitely warrants further research. And I'm super happy to make more videos on this topic if you guys would like me to dive into anything specific. Okay, so we're joining Coinbase. Bison Trails, they're the ones doing the infrastructure, the kind of AWS for Coinbase. Bison Trails will accelerate its mission to provide easy-to-use blockchain infrastructure now as a standalone product line as part of Coinbase, right? They're part of Coinbase now. The acquisition represents Coinbase's investment in advancing the crypto ecosystem. And this was January 18th. This was when they were acquired. Scroll down here a little bit, and I want to point out one thing again here, because it's a topic that's popping up again and again. So if you're ever asked in the future, how does Coinbase plan on making some of their money in the future? What additional services? Staking, guys. Staking is a really, really big one. As an investor in Bison Trails since our Series A, Coinbase has been part of Bison Trails since the beginning. So this was always kind of their idea to build out some infrastructure, or they would have probably never been an investor since the beginning. Coinbase is already our trusted partner over the last year. We work closely with Coinbase custodian team to launch several innovative products, integrations improving their user experience of staking, DOT, SOL, CELO for institutional token holders. As blockchain technology and the use of crypto assets become ambiguous, the products and services for Web 3.0 era will need to be powered by reliable and secure infrastructure. Big companies want security. Coinbase sees this opportunity and is deeply committed to both our success and the growth of crypto ecosystem. This is why it's such a big deal, right? So more infrastructure for staking, and Coinbase now becoming kind of a competitor for AWS, Amazon, Azure in the future. This is big stuff. Now, the last thing I kind of want to share here, I know there's a lot going on in this video, but it's an exciting space and there's a lot to review. So you have, again, another kind of company, or not a company, but arm of Coinbase, just like Coinbase Cloud in the back end. That's called Coinbase Ventures, and they're the ones with their fingers in all these little projects. So if you come down here to some of their investments, you have Compound, which is DeFi. You have BlockFi, which is central finance, and then you have traditional finance. So BlockFi is kind of in the middle between the two. BlockFi is where I do a little bit of my crypto holdings, staking. EtherScan, guys, this is another, it's crazy how many, they have their fingers in everything. EtherScan is something that pretty much anyone in the crypto ecosystem uses to check the current transactions of certain blockchain transactions, I guess you could say. Coin Tracker, these guys are on TurboTax. I don't use them myself. I use a different provider, but this is really, really big because Coinbase also partnered with Intuit to get people to document or do their accounting properly. It's crazy. So here's Bison Trails again. And then, you could literally scroll down and this list feels almost endless, and a lot of really credible companies here. So Coinbase has their fingers in a lot of different projects. I would love to dive into any one of them a little bit more if you guys want me to. I'll be doing it on my own time anyway. But I did want to shed some light here on Coinbase Cloud, and then I guess a little bit of Coinbase Ventures. But that is the big thing. Let me know in the comments below, guys, what do you think? How big of a deal is this for Coinbase, and does AWS have to be worried, or do they have to maybe do their own thing as well into this space, which they have a lot, and we could talk about that as well in a different video. That's everything for now, guys. Don't forget to drop a like on the way out. It's the easiest way to support the channel. And if you are into day trading, I'll see you guys then first thing tomorrow morning at the market open at 9 a.m. for the live stream. Till then, guys, like always, stay safe and make some awesome trades. Ciao, ciao, guys.